Hey, welcome back. It's Shelf Center time. Exciting, crazy, what? I realized I'm way boring on some of my videos, so here we are. We're gonna get some energy. Got the energy. Everybody get some energy. Go grab that energy. So, we're back. We're talking about one of my favorite things, Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time, as you can see beautifully displayed behind me. Wow. I was asking people on Twitter and Instagram, when do you think I started? When do you think I might have jumped into this series? It's really hard to tell, I know. So, uh, anyone else have? Drop a comment below. Anyone else have a series like this? That's like, I swear, 90% of all of my series. You should see my Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire series. Same thing. It's paperbacks. I actually prefer reading paperbacks, but sometimes you got to read immediately. Which, funny enough, did not actually apply to me, but here we are. So we'll get to that. Wheel of Time, it's one of my favorites in the top 10, definitely. I am so excited for the new series on Amazon. Got my Amazon, I got everything going. There's even a countdown going because now we know if you've seen the trailer, if you want to see it, maybe this might be the great time to throw it in here. And I don't have to worry about having issues with that, right? I don't know. We'll see. I'm only a lawyer. So I'm excited. I have my computer over here. So I am so excited for the series. That was it was a slight impetus for me to finally finish the series this year, actually. It was in January 2021. Finished A Memory of Light. What an amazing series. From step one all the way here. So these are my original, these are the box sets that I got way back in the day. These are so great. They carried me through. So I just figured I'd share my kind of story with the Wheel of Time, my excitement for it, and let's do this. So let's jump right into it. Isn't that what YouTubers say? Jump right into it. So with the Wheel of Time, it's back 2005, I believe, when I actually bought the first 3 box sets. So these are old puppies, and I've tried to keep them in pretty good shape though, because I can't wait for my kids to read them. That's why we do this, right? No, because they're amazing series, and words and everything, and book reading. Man, I start blanking out so bad when it's filming myself doing this. Wheel of Time. So about 2005, I got the series. 2006, and it was actually against my good friend's recommendation. He's my friend. We'll call him Poss. That was his nickname. He was trying to get me into everything, and I was reading it up. It was Melanie Ron's Dragon Prince trilogy. Lots of great stuff. Vonnegut. He's the one that got me into Vonnegut. Anyway, I was just eating up pretty much everything. This was during college, and with Wheel of Time, I kept seeing this in bookstores, and it's like, look, this looks like the big thing. I should be reading this, right? I got to be reading this. Everybody's reading this. And he was just like, no, it's not done yet. It's not done yet. Do something else. And I probably should have taken his advice, given what happened next. Because I did. Regardless of his advice, I couldn't help myself. I had to jump in. I always have audio issues, so I'm making sure I notice when I have potential audio issues. So I jumped right in, blazed through the first 5 books, got 100 pages into this baby, Lord of Chaos, and as we all know, tragically, Robert Jordan died in 2006. And so for me, it was, holy cow, I don't know how much I can invest in the series with an uncertain ending. As much as I loved it, and I loved these first books, 2006, if you'll recall, was also a good year for other big series. I kind of was feeling the stress of Harry Potter. Harry Potter just happened to be the final book was coming out that year, and so what I did was, it was kind of also a good excuse to finally actually read Harry Potter. I hadn't really read much in Harry Potter, so I read all the books in Harry Potter that were available, and was able to get there kind of just in time for the last book to come out and read that before I could get that spoiled too badly for me. So it was kind of, I took advantage of I guess a convenient time. Gosh, it's so sad that we lost Robert Jordan. I remember following his blog and just how quickly that went. And I don't think I've ever been crushed by an author passing, but I was crushed, and still am, and the world still is. Let's be honest, because it's so good. You're so close to these characters. They become your brothers and sisters, and even the Aiel, that are in such a foreign culture, you're so close. I would die for Avienda right now, and she's not real. But soon to be, right? So the Wheel of Time has just been something. So it always been on there, and then when Brandon Sanderson jumped on, I was blogging then, and so I was actually just starting to really blog when The Gathering Storm came out, and I was able to jump on a giveaway, and the giveaway was for the Gathering Storm signed, and so this is a really special, cool copy. I think I've shared this before, but I get to share it again because this is specifically for the Wheel of Time, right? So it's got even my winning email that I got. It's funny enough, I ended up then actually blogging for the same email, or blogging for the same blog that gave me this. It was just after the fact. I don't think it was. Anyway, I'll take my ill-gotten gains if that's what they were, because I got this beautiful signed by Sanderson version, also signed by Robert Jordan's wife. I'm losing my stickers. I should stick that somewhere. Great sticker. Got all kinds of fun stuff. Throw these down. Harriet McDougal, who was Mr. Jordan's, not only his editor, but then his first, and then his wife, and continued to be his editor, and clearly a big influence on everything that we've received. Grateful to her. And then also this book was dedicated to a couple people, Maria Simons and Alan Romanowski. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. And she even signed it. And also, I don't have this, so I didn't actually, when I finally read this, but we'll get there, didn't actually read this version. This one's too precious. I just paw at it, and and I'm very careful with it. So that was that. Won that one while I was blogging. Received these as advanced reading copies, and again, just too good to pass up. So then this ended up being, this is one of the, I picked up at a used bookstore. I actually picked up all the last three because I didn't want to sully my beautiful hardcovers. And so I read all of those in paperback, and I actually prefer a mass market paperback to anything anyway. And so really the only hardback I actually read was Knife of Dreams. So it was a couple years ago. I finally was like, look, I'm gonna read this. It's actually before the news of the series. I'm reading this. So I went back and actually did the first 5 books right there, to Fires of Heaven. The Fires of Heaven on audio. Got to learn and love Kate Redding and Michael Kramer. Holy cow, audiobook narrators of the century. Love them so much. And honestly, that'll be my next reread of the series, will be on audio. And as I've mentioned multiple times, I love audiobooks. They're the best. I can do so much with them. So this is it's such a cool series. But so I was able to reread the first 5, and man, those first 5 are so good. They're just so good. I even I did the first 100 pages on audio for Lord of Chaos, then jumped back in finally to reading. Started picking them off one by one, but I have this issue, and I don't know if any of you have the same issue, but I get really, I don't know if it's claustrophobic. It seems to be kind of a related symptom. Maybe it's my OCD or something, but I struggle with committing fully. I just don't want to burn out. I want to love every minute of a book series, so I'll take breaks in between and read 1 or 2 books. It's also backfired on me, and then I don't come back. But this one, as long as I stuck to a good schedule, I can do it. It is possible. So I stuck to a schedule, reading 1 every couple months, and finally, and I got through. You have to admit, there's a bit of a slog right here. The slog is real, and I would like to reread them just to. I remember being frustrated with Dragon Reborn when I first read it, going, wait a sec, what's going on? This is the Dragon Reborn, and we got about 5 pages of Rand, the Dragon Reborn. I don't think that's a spoiler for anyone. What the heck? So, but on reread, I remember loving it, because then I got closer to Nynaeve, to mostly the females, but all the other characters. To Mat, I think I got a little closer to. I might be a little rusty on that, but I felt I loved them way more. Whereas these ones, when you're going through some of these events that take place over multiple of these 800 to 1,000 page tomes, the struggle is real. But I do need to reread it and give it another chance, I think, because then Knife of Dreams just blew me away. I read that last year. Gosh, it's so good. And just, holy cow, the way that Sanderson was able to pick up, just, I barely felt or noticed. I mean, really the only thing that I noticed was one of the nice things, and there are some differences, and we can get into that. But one of the nice things was that he actually breaks up a lot of the paragraphs. They're not those full page length paragraphs. For some reason, those are taxing. I don't know why it is. Is it because you feel like you have to read all of it in one go, and with kids and everything going on, maybe I don't always have that. But anyway, I felt like that was one of the main things that I noticed, and that was a positive. I think after taking a step back and having read everything, and I'll have to do maybe more in-depth reviews. This is just kind of my story, my Wheel of Time journey, so to speak. But because I think there's a lot of things that Robert Jordan just does better. I think his characters are better. I think the one thing that everyone said, and it was true, is that Sanderson didn't quite nail Mat. Mat was a little too Mat, I felt, and especially with a fan favorite. But he's also a fan favorite because he's got nuance. He's got that nuance, and that is so hard. But I'm floored by how amazing that transition is. You really don't notice. You're reading Rand when you're reading Rand, and you're reading Nynaeve when you're reading Nynaeve. You're reading each one of those characters, and I am astounded. I do not know how Sanderson did this, especially in the time frame and the way that he did this. So anyway, lots of love here. You're not seeing a New Spring. That I did read. I just never picked it up for some reason. Don't know why. I need to. That's on my list. So I better do that. I had listened to it on audio, I believe. It's been a while, but that was one of those. I think I got it on CD from a library, put it onto my MP3 player, which I think at the time was a Zune. Yeah, I'm kind of at the height of fashion, so you definitely follow me for more fashion advice and technology. I was just a cusp, the height of technology, and so yeah, keep doing that. So anyway, just wanted to give a briefish, was it brief? A somewhat briefish story of how I got into the Wheel of Time, my story with the Wheel of Time, my relationship with it. It was a little rocky there. It was a little, I have to admit, for a little time, but it's still just so good, and you just love these characters. I think part of the problem is those first 6 books are so good that, I mean, these could have been like complete garbage, and you'd have to keep reading to get to the end. They weren't, but they could be. Just because you're so into these characters, you have to know. I love the Wheel of Time. I cannot wait to talk about the show. I hope it comes out this year. You got to see. There's some people doing a ticker. All we know is that it said 2021, and that's all we got. So it could mean tomorrow, and it could mean all the way to the end of the year. There's a Twitter account. I'll link it. It's so great that they actually put in there. They have a countdown until at least the end of the year. Hey, we know we've got 170 odd days, and that is the maximum it can possibly be because nothing changes in Hollywood. That's what I know. That's a fact. So that's great. We know it will come out this year. They would never ever change their minds. Anyway, hey, thanks for sticking with me. Appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and I can't wait to talk some more WoT with you. Wheel of Time, man, it's so good. It's just so good. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.